Hey everyone, here we are, and today I wanted to discuss something that you will hear us talk about or have heard us talk about since the time you joined the business, and that is your list of 100. The list of your 100 is something that we're going to refer to and you will utilize throughout the course of your journey with Scentsy. When you received your kit, there was a consultant guide, and in there was a sheet of paper for you to start out your list of all of your contacts and people that you know. Now that is a great tool and you're welcome to use that. You can make copies of that, or my suggestion would be for you to actually get a spiral notebook that becomes your ongoing forever 100 list. I'm going to help you guys go through, in case you have not created your 100 list before, I'm going to give you guys some ideas and some categories of people to think about when creating your 100 list to get your mind going. I've had team members say, oh my goodness, I don't know 100 people. And they come out with lists of 300. I've had team members say, but I really don't know 100 people. And they have a list of 38. It's a starting point. But oftentimes once I visit with them and I meet with them, we're able to get that list expanded. So I'm going to, over the phone, or over this call, I'm going to give you guys some additional categories and some ways to think about to expand your list of 100. Then we're going to talk about how to organize that list to where you can start effectively using it and working it, and how this is going to be an ongoing document that you're going to utilize throughout your time with Scentsy. So first of all, again, you can use the list that's in the book, but I'm going to be giving you additional things to that. I want you to think about, first of all, your family. Who are the people that you know as a result of your family? Now keep in mind that might be your sister's family, because maybe she's gotten married and had children and they now have contacts that you've met through her. I want you to think about, from your brother, who do you know that are friends with your brother that you have a relationship with? Your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, and who on your husband's side do you have relationships with or a contact? It's not so much that you need their address, phone number, know their date of birth. You don't have to have all that information. You just need to be able to write down a name of this person, knowing that you have a way to communicate with them or contact them, okay? So right now, the goal is just to write down every name you can think of that is in any way, shape, or form a relationship you know as a result of someone in your family. So that's one of your categories. Your other one are going to be your friends. So who do you consider to be in your circle of friends? Who are their friends that you've met as a result of your friends? Who are your husband's friends? Who are your husband's friends that you've met that are a result of your husband's friend's contact, okay? So these are things you want to be writing down. Now I want you to think about, who are your neighbors? Who used to be your neighbors? Think back of the different places that you've lived and all of the people that were once your neighbors. Who do you work with? For those of you that work outside the home, who do you currently work with? And who are people that you've worked with in the past? How about your husband? Who does your husband work with? Who are people that your husband has worked with in the past? Maybe even if you're real close with your siblings, you might know some of your siblings' coworkers or some of your siblings' coworkers from previous employers. Write those down. Who do you know as a result of your children? Think about, who do you know from the school settings? Who do you know from their activities? Okay? Think about people that you might know from your church or from groups that you're a part of. Maybe you volunteer or are part of some different non-for-profit organizations or your church families. Maybe you've switched churches recently, so you have contacts in this church and from your previous church. So you're going to want to be writing down those names. Professional contacts. Who are people that you've done business with now and have done business with in the past? Who's your realtor? Who's your landlord? Who's your veterinarian? Who's your dog groomer? Who's your hairdresser? Who's your dentist? Who do you get your insurance from? Who's your florist? You know, these are all things you want to be going through your list of people that you have consistently done business with now or in the past. So you want to write down their names. Now, there might be situations when you've gone to the same bank for the last 4 years and there's the same 2 or 3 tellers there every time you go and you don't know their name. That's okay too. So instead you would write down bank teller 1, blonde hair, bank teller 2, dark hair, whatever identifiers you need to put them down on your list, because those are still people that you come in contact with. Okay? So the goal here is to be thinking outside of that immediate bubble that you guys so often want to just be stuck to. We all actually have lots of connections and are connected to lots of different people and have a lot more people to be in contact with than we want to initially think about. Now, once you've completed your list, and that's not all inclusive, so some of you may have some additional things that you want to add to the list, but that gives you guys a really good starting point. So once you've got that list going, your next objective is to go through that list. And I want you to think about who on that list do you know that has talked about needing extra money, needs a second job, constantly struggling financially, maybe recently lost their job, has been laid off, only has part-time income. I want you to think about those people, and I want you to put a J next to their name for join. Also, these same people, I want you to think about, okay, who do I think would be fun to have on my team? Who is someone I enjoy spending time with? Who is someone that has a lot of experience in sales? Who is someone that I really think has a natural ability to do direct sales and to share Scentsy? I want you to put a J next to their name. These are individuals that you're going to make it a priority to share the join opportunity with. If you need additional information on how to do that or what exactly that means, there's lots of training on the Scented Bliss Team YouTube channel under sponsoring. You can also go to the training center in your workstation and search sponsoring for all kinds of endless training, specifically more how to do that approach. Next, I want you to think about the people on that list that work in large office buildings. Who works around a lot of people? Who loves to have parties? Who's very social? Who's always going to Bible studies and bunco nights and just constantly likes to be out and about and around a lot of people and or works around a lot of people? Those are your potential hosts. So I want you to put an H next to their names. And those are individuals that you're going to be asking to host a home, bag, or online party for. So keep that in mind. Again, if you need additional support on how to do bookings or how to even have parties, again, the Scented Bliss Team YouTube channel or your training center, just search bookings or parties and you will find endless sources of information and trainings. The other individuals on your list are now your customers. So those are people that you're going to be sharing product information with and making sure that they know that you're their Scentsy consultant now. You need to set a reasonable goal of what's real for you. Everybody's circumstances are different. Some of you join this for full-time income. Some of you join this for part-time income. All of your different situations are just that. They're different. So saying that, set a goal. What's reasonable for you? Is it sharing with 5 people a day? Is it sharing with 10 people a day? What is realistic for you to go through your list every day and share both the join, the buy, and as a customer? Now keep in mind, this list is going to be changing. You're going to meet new people on a regular basis. You're going to have people that are going to join your team off your list, so you're going to cross them off. You're going to have people who become your hosts. And so that's fabulous because your goal with them is to flip them so that they become consultants. And again, there's whole separate trainings on flipping the host. So if you're not familiar with that term, please ask your upline director or seek that out in the training as well. So, this list is going to constantly be changing. You're going to get referrals. Hopefully, if you're doing a good job and you're asking for referrals, people are going to refer you to people and they're going to go on your list. And you're going to keep working through that list. Many of us have made the list and many of us have chosen to do nothing with the list. The list will not work unless you work. So that's really important that you get your list made. You make it a priority to actively work your list and to use that so that over the course of your journey, you see people come and you see people go. And if it's because they go, it's because they've joined your team. And now you're doing this same training with them. So I hope you find this helpful. If you have additional questions, please feel free to contact me or your upline director.